Hello, welcome to Before the Crowd, hosted by me, Down at 14, a young urban Zambian adult on a mission to provide a voice and space for people to discuss and explore various challenges and opportunities that come with navigating life. From current events to timeless debates, join me as we delve into the world around us and discover new perspectives. So grab your headsets, sit back, and get ready to join the conversation. Hello and what's good? I am Down at 14 and welcome to Before the Crowd. Yes, I'm sorry I've neglected to post any recent podcast episodes, but that's because a boy had school to deal with. I had my results coming out and I'll admit I was petrified. About my results, but your boy made it to another semester of university, and yeah, shout out to all my teachers. All my lecturers were amazing. For my first semester at Molongoshe University, it was amazing. Other than that, I have a myriad of other excuses I had to make. I was feeling burnt out. New semester is starting. The news is shit. A lot of people are passing. I feel so many weird emotions, but I am so happy I could bring you this episode today. Timestamps don't really matter. This is a pre-recorded episode anyway. But yeah, I am really, really happy right now. Anyway, enough about me, enough about my life. I'm joking. But yeah, I want a very particular problem that's very distinct for Southern Africa. I'm talking about South Africa, Zambia, Kenya, a little bit over there, you know. And it's load shedding. Today I'll focus mostly on Zambia because, for me, it's affected me personally. For anybody else out there who feels different about it, you can tell me and I'll try doing some research over there. But this topic for me is particularly interesting because a lot of people across borders in the diaspora and back home here in Zambia are talking about load shedding. Some are making trends, some are making jokes, some are affected personally and really, really badly. But it's a certain issue that we as people who are affected by it have to find a way to solve, talk about, manipulate, or something, But before we get into how we solve it, we have to do something most people don't like. We have to look at its past, its background. We have to look at what this issue is from all aspects. And before we solve it, we really have to see where it comes from. Because trying to solve a problem without understanding its past is futile. You repeat the same mistakes trying to solve the issue, but you won't get anywhere. So, what is the state of electricity in Zambia? In Zambia, electricity generation is largely dependent on hydroelectric power. However, in recent years, the country has been facing a severe electricity crisis due to a combination of factors, including low water levels in dams, aging infrastructure, and lack of investment in new power generation. The result is that many people in Zambia, particularly in urban areas like Lusaka, are experiencing frequent power outages. This has had a significant impact to the country's economy as businesses and industries are unable to operate at full capacity due to lack of reliable electricity. In addition, households are also affected by the power outages, as they are often forced to rely on expensive and polluting alternatives such as generators and candles. But despite the government's efforts, the electricity crisis in Zambia is likely to persist in the short term, as it will take time to build new power generation capacity and upgrading existing infrastructure. However, with continued investments and commitment to addressing the issue, it is possible for Zambia to overcome its electricity crisis and improve access to reliable and sustainable electricity for all citizens across the board. Yes, I agree with you. I can hear you mouthing the words, wow, that's an awfully optimistic view on things. Yes, I am endeavoring to be optimistic about this. I hear you, and yes, I too can feel the fact that there has been an impact of load shedding to the Zambian society. Trust me, I know. I'm a podcaster, video gamer, and content creator. No one more than me knows the loss of power. I have to time it. I have to cue when power goes. Yes, I am there. I'm with you. But power outages, yes, load shedding, the rotation of power to make sure everybody is on schedule with something is alright. But let's also not forget the fact that Zesco is at the forefront of this. There's so many minute, small details that we all can't be told because of the technical aspects of these things. But I hear you. You're right. And I agree with you. But look at it from a half full glass perspective with me for a second. The most obvious impact is on businesses, which lose productivity and revenue when there's no power. We get it. This can be particularly damaging for businesses on electricity to run, other operations such as manufacturing, plantations, and data centers. And if you're on the small scale, content creators, I wish the Zambian government can deal with the internet, but that has nothing to do with electricity. So yes, I hear you. Small scale nobodies and everyday people. Households are also greatly affected by load shedding, as they are also unable to use basic necessities such as cooking, lighting, and charging of electronics. Oh God, that hit close to home. True. This can lead to a range of problems, from food spoilage to difficulty studying or working from home. Schools and universities, again, are also impacted by load shedding. For some of us in university, classes are halted, stopped, and management of such as TVs and small fridges are hard to manage. It's dire. For some universities, such as the University of Zambia in Mulungushi, for instance, it's a major cause of disruption to the academic calendar in most cases, especially if you're saying it's a 12-hour stint. It can disrupt academic calendars. This can lead to delays in graduations and other negative consequences for students, especially on exam timetables. In addition to these direct impacts, load shedding also has another number of indirect impacts to the Zambian society. For example, large businesses may be less likely to invest in the country if they are concerned about the reliability of power supply. Similarly, individuals may be less likely to move to or stay in the country if they are concerned about the availability of power. Overall, the impact of load shedding and power outages on the Zambian community and society is significant and multifaceted. It affects not only businesses and households, but schools and universities, and the bordering community and economy. Addressing the issue will require a combination of short-term solutions, such as increasing efficiency and reducing demand, as well as long-term solutions, such as investing in new power generation capacity. Yes, that means investing in not only hydroelectrical power, but also solar energy, wind turbine, or even looking to invest in small grid systems so that the community is less likely to depend on an overall large grid for power. But that's something we're waiting to see from the government at large. Just some of my other personal thoughts, Yeah, I remember doing a small project in school about small grid systems and how you can sell power. I know Zesco is going to hate this idea, monopolies and all. But yes, I really loved this idea because it showed me how we can easily solve some issues if we put our minds together. And as a university student, I can attest to the fact that load shedding has a major impact on my education. Whew. I just had a flashback of one of the exams I had the past semester. And we were asked on this question: how does the advancement in technology and e-learning help with education? And this one just like ticks me because it's true. E-learning is amazing for learning, but it doesn't have the exact same texture to being in a classroom, listening to your lecturer and your companions in class interact. And with power outages and power cuts, you really feel that you're in solitude in your own room, hoping that maybe by small chance God will give you the inspiration to study the right stuff. And it's terrible because now you're in the dark, hoping that maybe, just maybe, by the hope and grace from the guy who turns off the grid, he'll get the inspiration to remember that, hey, these guys need power. And Zesco, I hope somebody at Zesco hears this. You guys suck. You really do. You really do. I hope maybe one day your job, because maybe then you can give us a value for the money tokens we pay for electricity. But no, you guys still suck. There are a lot of better ways to deal with customers than the stuff you give us. That's just me. That's just me. I take this very personally. I feel like talking about a couple explorations into how we can possibly get solutions to this problem. But if you have been paying attention, I've talked about a couple of the ways we can solve this issue. And I'm feeling lazy to talk about that. Even though I did do the research, I am feeling completely lazy to talk about it because these are issues we've been talking about since like 9th grade. Scratch that. Since like 3rd grade. Turbine engines and whatnot, wind and solar power. There are a lot of ways for us to solve this problem, but one I feel is never expressly talked about is how we the people can actually learn to use power less, go out more into the world and enjoy the people around us. I know that's a little bit hard, especially with phones and YouTubing, especially for me who's a content creator. I'm always on my phone, so I always need a charge. But yeah, we as people should really take time to also understand that power grids need time to store energy. And if we're always on the go to spend power as much as possible to feed our weird cravings for being seen and known, it gets bad until we find a way to actually invest in power that's always going to be around. We should also take time to go out and leave power, switch off a light, do something that actually helps Zesco. That sounds so weird to say out loud. But regardless, the government of Zambia has a responsibility to address the problem and ensure that citizens have access to reliable and affordable electricity. However, some argue that the government has not done enough to address this issue and that more needs to be done to attract investment and improve the country's energy infrastructure. And most of you will agree with that. Parts of it are true. There are things that can be done, and